Good morning, 5-star. Welcome to another edition of the 10,000 Club, where our vision is it takes 10,000 hours to be a pro. Thank you, Paul Carlson. And so today we have a special guest, Mr. Paul Carlson and Cindy Beckwith.
Hello.
So it's beautiful outside. It's not blazing heat, right? Nice to go out there without breaking a sweat, even though I'm a sun girl. Yep. So we have another beautiful day in Michigan. And all right. So today we want to talk about resources. In the last year, I've been here almost 5 years, starting my 6th year in October, and we have grown a lot. We have grown in agents, we've grown in staff, we've grown in resources. So today we just felt like we want to talk to all of you about what are our resources, what's the why behind them, and how do you practically use them. So we've invited Paul to come in today. And if you both want to say hello, and then Paul, just take it over and tell us why and what with 5-star.
Sounds good. I mean, I'm happy to jump right into it. Unless Cindy, you want to add something? I didn't mean to stomp.
Oh no, hey Paul, you're good. Remember, we were going to talk about the weather.
Oh yeah, yes, the weather is beautiful outside. Yeah. So I have to give a little history here. When 5-star was first created back in 1996, it was because Greg, my father, Greg, who founded the company along with 2 other guys, recognized in his mind, he was like, we are paying our brokers so much money, and I'm not sure what exactly I'm getting back besides the sign in the lawn. And he just felt like, what are we doing here? And so he actually sat down with his broker. His broker called a meeting and pulled a bunch of top performing realtors in the room and was like, hey guys, I want to grow our brokerage here. What should we do? And Greg kind of raised his hand and said, hey, you know what? Why don't you lower people's fees? Because we're all doing different things. Like some people have an office, some people don't have an office. Some people are working totally remote from home, but you're charging us all the same amount of money, whether or not I have an office, whether I use the printer, whether I, blow my nose here every day. Like I'm paying the same amount of money. It doesn't matter how much paper I'm using here. We're all paying an equal amount. And the broker looked at Greg and said, Greg, that doesn't make any sense to me. He said, why would I ever reduce an agent's fees when they're already willing to pay me that much money? And this sort of was like the culmination of like Greg realizing this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a world where the brokers are in control. We're thanking the broker. We should be thankful to our broker. We owe our broker everything. And he's going, but wait a second, my experience doesn't line up with that. His experience was that he was doing everything himself. He was going to his listing appointments. He was negotiating offers. He was coming home at 10 o'clock at night. His broker was not going with him to those appointments. So 5-star started to reduce fees and put the power back in the agent's hands. Well, we recognized that we were a tough spot maybe for brand new realtors to join because we were so focused on allowing people who had established businesses thrive. Because they already had all the knowledge they needed. They had all the resources they needed. They were good to go. They were veterans who were like, hey, this makes total sense. I'm going to reduce my fees by $50,000 a year. Bingo, let's go. And so they would come on over. Well, probably back in 2000, the recession started in 2006 for us. And then we went from 235 realtors down to about 155 realtors. And at that moment, we thought, Greg and I were like talking in 2011 at the very bottom of the market. And we said, all right, holy cow, it's scorched earth out there. We went from 3,000 realtors and associations down to 1,000 realtors and associations, right? You had HBAs, building associations who were getting rid of buildings. So I'm giving you kind of like a history lesson of how we got here. Yeah. But we shook hands in that moment. We said, okay, let's go on the offensive. Let's try and build the best brokerage we can. Let's recognize that we want new agents. We want young agents. We want people to build their businesses here from the ground up. And we thought, what do we need? And so at that moment, we started trying to think about what do agents actually need? Do they need us buying leads for them? Do they need us doing these things? And what do they need? And we recognize that the reason agents fall out of the industry is not because they don't understand paperwork or don't understand the general understanding of what real estate is. They fall out of the business because they are overwhelmed by what to do next. They're overwhelmed with how they don't know how to get a client. They don't know how to retain a client. They don't know how to follow up with a client, you name it. They struggle with the business side of things. So we sort of decided that we wanted to become sort of like facilitation consulting, like a facilitation consulting based real estate company, where we're not going to hold 2-week courses and go, there's your 2-week course. Wish you the best. Good luck to you. You know, may you have a great journey in your real estate career. We recognized that real estate needed education and needed consulting at every point in your career. So you start out brand new. You're trying to figure out, where do I go to, how do I hold an open house? What's best practices at an open house? How do I negotiate my first offer? What does it mean what's a VA buyer? What's an FHA buyer? What's a MSHDA loan? Right? These are all foreign terms to you at that moment. And we started recognizing that. And so we started to build out resources for new people. And then maybe you're 2 to 3 years in the business and you're going, well, I understand all those basics, but how do I go from 2 million to 6 million? Well, enter in broker support team, enter in this team you're looking at here who have done it, and bring in Tracy Johnson, right? Bring in all these types of people that have done it. And we're trying to build out resources for you, no matter what step you're at in your career, no matter which step you're at, we want to have resources for you to get to wherever it is the next level you want to go. So that's kind of the why of what we did here and why we started doing it. And it started small. It started with Leo Olson and some others who were just like, you know, kind of like Greg and Paul's right hand, who was kind of like, did some coaching and did some real estate training and did some things. Then it turned into Kim Anderson, and it was in a deal doctor with Don, the deal doctor. And it kind of kept growing. And now we've got this amazing team of broker support. We've got deal doctors. And then we started recognizing, well, shoot, people are not coming into the office as much as they used to come into the office. So how do you create an experience for people who are spread out all over the place, who have busy lives themselves, have kids they're bringing back and forth from school, who maybe want to travel, want to work a bit more up north, they want to live up north, but still work. And we recognized that we needed to have more digital options for them as well. So it's been a really interesting journey. We're definitely not done. But that's how we've ended up with our broker support team, our deal doctor team, and now this educational resource center and the Facebook page. That page in and of itself is one of the most valuable things we have. This classroom and then the 5-Star Connect page. These are extremely valuable. Agents are out there helping each other, sharing resources, giving each other advice. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess we have 3 brand promises, the 3 promises from 5-Star. One is we're going to keep your fees low. 2, we want to support you in being unique. However you want to go forward, we want to support you. And we want to give you what we call real-time support. And so this real-time support thing is where the resources live. This is where the deal doctors live, the broker support team lives, and now this resource center, this dashboard, this educational resource center, the on-demand Con Ed and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
So that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Again,
that's all right.
that was a mouthful.
I like it because it's, I mean, the great thing about 5-Star, it's like a smorgasbord. You can pick what you need. They, you know, 5-Star is so supportive of agents, but they allow them to be themselves, and you can kind of pick what works best for you to establish your business. It's great.
And I think since COVID, so many of us have all decided, hey, they set up their home office. They're used to, all of us used to work from home. We're available by our phone. I'm available by Zoom. So we don't always get together and see each other as often as we'd like to. So the first thing I want to bring up is we have brought back these amazing coffee hours. Doug is at Holland, I believe, today in a coffee hour. Yesterday we were in Kalamazoo. They're scheduled. Do you have one in Lansing, Cindy?
We will soon.
Yeah,
Yay.
the office in Lansing is days. We're days away from being done.
I know. I would just stop by there. Yeah, it's coming along. But I was in Jackson.
Yeah. So first thing, so we're going to kind of run through. So Paul helped us understand the why and a little bit of overview of the growth. So some of the practical resources we want to make sure everyone knows is there. And as Cindy said, I like that's a smorgasbord. If you'd love to come, we're here. If you want to use it, it's there for you. And I always, when I'm in an appointment with a new agent, I always say one of the visions of the Carlsons is that we put the money back in your pocket. You're the entrepreneur, and you get to decide how you want to use your funds. You get to decide how you want to use your time. We're here to support you as you build your business. And so one of the things is there's no obligation to run an office. There's no obligation to ever come to a coffee hour. It's very good if you can, and company meetings. So the one thing we want to highlight right now are the coffee hours. Those are amazing. It's a good time to reconnect back with your coworkers and other agents. And these coffee hours about hearing from you. We don't come with an agenda. No, we don't have an outline. It's really, we're here to support you and to hear from you. And I find them to be amazing, right?
I do too. I think that what the cool thing about the coffee hours is that the conversation definitely wanders. It's nice that way though, because it's focused, and Doug does an incredible job kind of circling things around and keeping it moving, and then pitching a new question to the group. I've learned so much at coffee hours, and it's also a great time to share. Like, so something comes up and you know, you're sitting in a room with people who some people might have 25 years experience and some have 4 years experience, and watching those people sort of blend and give their advice and hear their perspectives. It's really interesting, because like even the people who've been in the business for a long time can learn something from these newer, younger agents over here. Younger meaning like newer to the industry, who are bringing a different perspective to the table, especially with like social media and all these other things. So it tends to be a very interesting group, and one of my favorite things that we do at the coffee hours for sure.
Well, and the other thing is, I love that I'm seeing faces. I'll call out Blaine Allen. He has a private branch in Lawton. He loves coming to coffee hours, and he's not someone who we hear from a lot, but when he speaks, it's wise. Like, oh, awesome. You know, there's a lot of the agents out there that we don't hear from that we know can contribute, and we'd love to hear from you. So we'll highlight the coffee
with them.
And then the second thing Paul mentioned is our 5-star Connect and 5-star Classroom. So that's another place when I talk to new agents, I remind them, you know, when we're out recruiting and bringing other agents in, is you have this Connect page where you have access to what, 725? Where are we at today, Paul? 725, something
somewhere
like that?
around there. Yep. Somewhere around there.
So if you need a referral, if you need a contractor, you have a question, it's just a really nice page to be. You can stay small or you can go big. So we want to, I think most of us know where those pages are. Then the next thing we want to highlight, and I'm going to share my screen, is this amazing dashboard. So let me hit share screen, and we'll just take the next 5 or 10 minutes and just walk you through this.
Sounds great.
So everybody can see. So here is the new dashboard, the main page, right? And Paul, jump in.
Well, this thing, I think, I'm not sure. Okay, this is actually our link tree. Right. This is the link tree. So this page here was designed to be a one-stop shop for realtors at 5-star to be able to get what they need, like a lot of the common questions. Yeah. So this if you have nothing else, like save this as your favorite page, like put it in a bookmark it. This page here, if you're like, boy, I wonder where I could get this piece of information. This page here should get you close to pretty much anything that you need. I think if you're ever looking for, and I need to relabel this, but I think if you're ever wondering what the like our EIN number is, or our NAID number. So I think if you click if it's on the who to call list.
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna look here.
Should be at the bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah. So I want to relabel that link so that information just shows there, right?
Okay.
I want to know, that's where I find that.
Yeah.
Because I don't like, so we're always trying to improve too. So if anyone has feedback on this and it's like, hey, I think this could be interesting, or that could be interesting, or relabel this to make it more clear, we are always open to suggestion. But this page here, we recognize that we were one-off kind of sending these links out. Like, oh, here's our storefront. Oh, here's the link to the logos. Here's the link to the company stats. Here's the link to the Dropbox locations. And finally, we were just like, why don't we just make this into a link tree into one spot? And that way people can just have all of it. And so we took a lot of time to build this out with everything that we think you might need. So this is super valuable. Yeah. So that's the link.
As you can see, just scroll through it. It gets us everywhere that we need to go in here, even to apparel. Somebody asked me the other day about apparel. So this is your main postcards, dot loop, schedule conference room, everything is on here. So you'll want to bookmark this. Here's the link right here.
And it's so easy to use, very easy to use.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and just go into the dashboard. So this would get you into your personal dashboard. And then if you sign in up here at your little picture, and this is going to take you into my personal dashboard. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to let Paul run through these because we have the newsletter in here, education, property pages, Con Ed. So yeah, go ahead and talk about those.
So, all right. So this is the back end here. So the CRM, I'm just going to be really honest with you. This is intentionally meant to be simple. Okay. This is intentionally meant to be very, very basic. And the reason was because brokerages around the country are paying an enormous amount of money for CRMs. They're very rarely being used. And as an industry average, less than 6% of agents at a brokerage will use a company provided CRM, but yet they're paying for it. Okay. And it's always being billed back to the realtors. And we just got so sick of that. And we're like, this is ridiculous. These CRMs are promising the moon and the stars to the agent community, and they're never delivering. And so we wanted to keep fees low. We built a basic CRM here that you can certainly use. But listen, I would recommend you go find a CRM that really fits your lifestyle. Maybe it's Airtable, maybe it's Copper, maybe it's Zoho, maybe it's Contactually, maybe it's any one of the CRM's options out there, guys. And there are hundreds at very different rates. And I will tell you one thing. Programs and software that are built for realtors take complete advantage of those realtors. So for a CRM, for the leading class CRM out there, you can probably get a CRM for like $60, $75. And these are major CRMs that are being used by incredible corporations to run their businesses. But if you want to go get a real estate CRM, they're like, oh yeah, that'll be $400 a month. That'll be $3,000 a month, which I'm not kidding you. Some of these programs are $3,000 a month for a CRM. And they just seem to think that realtors will take any bait that is put in front of their face. And so I have a major problem with technology companies out there who are promising realtors that they have it all figured out for them. They've resolved these agents' problems and they sell you a very expensive platform. And the only thing that I see constantly is agents signing up for platforms and canceling platforms, signing up and canceling, signing up and canceling. So I would urge you to use caution before you buy the next salesperson that calls you and tells you about this amazing new product that's going to change your life. Just be cautious, be skeptical.
Good info.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, yep. So the next one's our profile, which that's our
profile
basic
is pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
5-star exclusives. 5-star exclusives is essentially where people can share like, hey, I've got a buyer looking for this in this area. Or you could say you have a seller who's indicated to you that they are possibly interested in selling, and you can put their home. You can put their general description of where the home's located, general description of the home. And we've actually had multiple sales that have happened because of this platform. And so I think if you zoom in, you'll see there's more than that. I don't know. Those are not all like individual. Anyways, I think if you zoom in, there are more pins that appear as you zoom in.
Okay.
Because there's certainly more than 5 things on here.
Yeah, there are. I don't know why this isn't showing them up, but
that's okay. It could be because of your settings or your search parameters.
Yeah.
But if you guys, let me tell you how I think this platform can be used. So are you going to absolutely scroll down, Kim, below there? Scroll down, like down. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You can see you're looking at matches.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. So let's go. Yeah, so that's why. All right, let me go back out.
So anyways, anyways, this website here, I'll tell you how I think it can be utilized really well. One way I think this can be used really well is if you are talking to a homeowner or a buyer and they're going, yeah, but what else can you do for me that someone else can't do? Well, what you can do is you can leverage 735 people in an area that all know people who are buying and selling. And so I think that it's not necessarily a guarantee. Would you ever only list a home on this website? Probably not. Maybe not. It's up to your client and what you guys decide is best for them. But it's certainly one of those things where you can say, I've got this other option available to me that no one else can see. It's exclusive to 5-star. So I'm aware of tons and tons of buyers who are looking in your exact area in this price point that are willing to buy now. Or I know sellers who have not listed on the MLS, but they are raising their hand saying, I'm interested in selling. Here's actual sellers right here that are not listed on the MLS.
Yep. And then you can see they're all there now.
I would use it more as an opportunity to sell, to talk to your realtors about things that you have that other realtors don't have. Yep. So let's jump back into the dashboard again.
Okay, the newsletter.
We got a newsletter here. So this newsletter, this is going to be nothing fancy, but it's going to include your information. It's going to go out monthly, whether you click send or not. So one of the things that we recognized is that realtors are very spotty with consistent follow-up with their past clients. All of us are guilty of it. Every single one of us is guilty of, oops, forgot to talk to that person ever again in my entire life. And it happens. So what I really want new agents to know, and even veteran agents to know, is like the closing table is the initiation of the relationship. And then you need to maintain that relationship for years to come. And that's how you're going to maximize your business. That's how you're going to grow the most successful business you can with the least amount of effort.
Right.
The hardest thing to do is constantly hunting for buyers and sellers all the time. If you can never let go of your past clients, build a roster of clients that want to see you win, that want to support you, that will give you referrals. You don't just get that, you have to earn that. And you earn that by being their realtor beyond the sale.
And these newsletters, I use these newsletters, Paul. I love them. I don't
they go out, you know what? You don't have to think about it. And you don't have to think about it. And you know that absolutely that newsletter is going to go out to your clients.
Yep. And you can personalize it. You'll get a notice. 5-Star sends you a notice like 7 days in advance, and you can actually personalize, send a little note on them, and then it'll update and it goes out automatically. But you can personalize it, or you don't have to.
Yep, you can leave a little note there if you want. Yep. So if you don't know, if you're not doing anything at all, this is something you should do. Put everyone you know on this list, load them into that CRM right there. You click the button, yes, I want to send this newsletter out. It's a no fuss way to get something in your friend, family, everyone you know's email box once a month. That's real estate related. That's going to remind them you're in business. And you know what? It's easy. It takes no effort for me to do. And that's why we did it. We wanted to give agents an automatic way to stay with their clients.
It's classy content too. I mean, it's just,
we build it out every month. Yeah. Every month, Emma and Mary from our marketing team, they go and they dig up the articles they want to post in there. So it's not automatically generated. It's being curated by our team here.
Yep. And you can do an intro here too. You just have to turn the button on. Once you load your contacts, I had to change something. So my contacts aren't in here anymore, but I have to reload them. And then once they're there, you can hit this, you can do an intro here. And once a month, they're going to hear from you, right?
I get great feedback from the newsletter.
Do you?
Good.
Okay, good. And then, you know what? I have listings. I don't have a property page in here. I forget about this feature, but you could go in here and create it, right?
Yeah. So the property pages, this is actually pretty cool. So if you want to make a really pretty property, so I think you can actually search right there to make one automatically. Yep. So if you want to like search for your listing, it'll like, do you have a listing that you can pick?
Yep.
Okay, grab one. And then if you wanted to, you could attach you don't even need to do that, but you could attach additional information if you wanted to. Yep. And then it pulls in the photos.
Yeah.
And I think you have to click which ones you select. You think you select which ones you want real quick. Just select.
You do?
Yeah, just click a few photos.
Okay.
So I think it says like, grab 4 of those photos. Just grab any old 4. Okay. Now scroll down. And then I think, never mind. Sorry, Kim, I think it was 4, 1 from each section. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So let's go. So left side photo,
one.
Let's just
we'll
do
build
one.
Yep. And then show off the lake on the second one, maybe.
Not that one. Let's do this one. Okay.
Kim, that's a nice listing.
It is. Yeah. I'd love to sell it. Then number 3, bottom photo,
grab a kitchen, maybe, kitchen self-sell.
Yeah. Not a bathroom on this one. So, I don't know. We'll just
grab one. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a backyard or something.
There you go.
We'll just grab the backyard.
There you go.
Okay.
And then scroll down, click save.
Now I have it.
Let's hit preview.
And then I can just post this out there on social media.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can grab that link. So now if you scroll down, Kim,
Yep.
It'll show off these pictures of the house.
Oh, and you can still get to all of them.
Yep. And
Plus
so
you
you
can-
can, yep. And then if someone wants to get information, and so what you can do, Kim, is you take that link and you share it on social media.
Yep, just copy and paste it up here, right?
Yep.
So it's another feature you can tell your sellers that you're doing, that you offer.
Yep. And it's basically a single property landing page.
Nice. Very nice. Okay. And then where else do we want to go? Education. Let's hit that in the next
So
few
this
minutes.
one here is the big one we just launched. And this one is where we're going to be pouring a lot of new content into. So I don't know if everyone knows, but we've created walkthroughs for pretty much every document inside of, so we've created like walkthroughs for document walkthroughs, 101 courses. You might wonder, so 101 courses are going to be things like open house best practices, follow-up best practices, building a database, right? Like these are going to be 101 courses. Document walkthroughs are pretty much self-explanatory. What they are, it's like if you're in GCAR and you want to run through the PA, go in there, click GCAR PA, watch it line by line. Eric will just go boom, 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 and he'll tell you, this is line 1, here's how I explain it. Here's line 2, here's how I explain it, and so on. So you'll see here,
So buyer agency, listing agreement, purchase agreement, and you just click them.
And you'll see that we break every single section down so you can skip. Like, let's say you really don't know section 11 and you want to understand section 11. You can scroll down to section 11, click it, and then boom, it'll jump straight to section 11 and run you through that section of the PA.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Yes, it is. I love this site. I love it.
And so this is really great because, you know, I remember being a fresh agent and I remember being like, what the heck is indemnification? How do I describe that? You know, how do I explain that? And I always struggled with it. And so I'd be calling everyone else and be like, hey, how do you explain this section here? Like, what do you say?
I can barely say the word.
Like, I always want to know, like, from a practical sense, like, what does this mean? How do I explain it? So that's what the document walkthroughs have been designed to do. It's designed for you to be able to just get what you need when you need it. Like if you're in a car, let's say you're on your way to your first listing appointment and you're like, shoot, you could sit in your car, get there 10 minutes early, watch the listing agreement, you know, document, run through it right before you walk in the door from your phone and be good to go. Curated playlists. This is really designed to grab, and we're going to keep building this out too, not just 5-star resources, but resources we found on YouTube, like wherever we can find good resources. So in any one of these curated playlists here, we're going to highlight reels from 5-star content that we've done on those topics. Then we're going to grab really good content from like the broader YouTube sphere, YouTube verse, and load that content in there for you. And we're going to keep building this out too. So again, we love suggestions. So if you guys have suggestions for things you want to see, just raise a hand. Let's send us a message and we'll start to work on it. Let's see where we go from here. 101
courses. Did we click on that yet?
But
nope. So this one's going to be like .loop 101, home inspections 101, lending 101, buyer courses, you know, things like this. And we're going to keep building this out as well. But this is a good start, especially for a newer agent to get started.
Yep. There's your 30-day
challenge. If you guys haven't done it before or don't know what it is, I really want you guys, you can go there and you can do your own 30-day challenge. But basically the 30-day challenge was, what would you do if you had 30 days to get a buyer or a seller under contract? How far would you go? And a bunch of really amazing realtors submitted their 30-day challenges, and we gave out a little prize for the winners. And I encourage you to jump in there and read these 30-day challenges. Maybe it's going to inspire you. Maybe it's going to nudge you loose a little bit. Maybe it's going to help you step out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's going to open your eyes to different ways to build your business and not just the traditional, you know, ideas you might have in your head right now. This is going to hopefully expand your ideas.
Yep. And then down here.
Yep.
Documents.
Let's click in there.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. So these are also all available, guys, on this probably going to be your least used portion of the website. And we might even remove it. But this is essentially just a bunch of documents we use. But those are all on .loop as well. Then we have FAQs.
Just some questions
there.
Yeah.
So like we have very common questions here. A lot of people don't understand dual agency. So like we want to make sure you understand dual agency. What is designated agency, right? So that's just a fun place to get in there. We got a bunch of vocab here too.
Yep. So this is an amazing site. I use it a lot. It just helps me more. Is there anything else? It helps me to be able to spend more practical time.
I think that's pretty much it for now on that website.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, I can stop sharing. So yeah, I just think we have a lot of tools that often agents don't know. And that's why you'll notice you're getting check-ins from our support staff. And that's just A, to see how you're doing, B, see if there's anything we can help you with. And maybe you don't know where all the tools are. I know, especially when an agent first onboards, there's a lot happening. And so a couple weeks later, you might go, oh, no, what did they tell me? What Justin tell me? Justin told me this, Justin told me that. And then you can call any of us up. And I like to do a walkthrough after agents are on board and say, let's do a real quick Zoom. Let me show you around. So just know we have a lot available. And I always tell agents, you can call me anytime. If I don't have the resource, I'll find it for you or lead you to the right direction. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick look at the resources that like we're working on creating and providing. Right now, the next steps for that resource center and next steps are going to be, we want to launch more live classes, more get-togethers, like boot camps, things like that. So Marissa Harrington is working on some live educational things where she's putting together a list of things right now. We can begin kind of creating like a little bit of a roadshow. And we also are looking to build out more content for this educational platform, right? Like how to build a team, how to understand statistics. So Greg and I are going to create a stats course. How do you use stats at your listing presentation? How do you use stats to become the expert? So we're just going to keep adding to this, and we'll announce each time we add new courses, we'll announce and we'll let everyone know that those new courses are there and ready for them.
Good. Well, it's all good stuff, right? Cindy?
Yeah, the continuing ed site on there too is really good. You learn a lot.
Yep, and that Con Ed is where you can go and you can get your Con Ed regardless of when you joined 5-star. If you need Con Ed, it's there for you. Yep.
And you can get in there, you can work on it for 20 minutes, go back, it keeps track. It's nice.
Right. And then a common question we get is, how does it get reported? As soon as you complete it, it alerts 5-star. We take it from there. And then just a couple of weeks ago, I received a certificate in my email, right? So we take care of it for you, correct?
Yep.
Well, yeah. So, well, it's
so
all
once you take it, we log it. Yep.
Yeah, you turn it in, you get a completion, we log it. It's all going to be in your marketplace. So, all right. Well, all good stuff today. We appreciate you being here. We just want to have an opportunity to share some of the good stuff that's going on here. So, Cindy, any final thoughts?
Well, you guys, go in there, check it out. We get questions on where to find these items, and they have 5-stars developed that website. It's nice. Go in there, look around. I think you'll be amazed.
Yep.
All right. All right, everybody.
All right.
Go enjoy.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.